Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and welcome to another edition of What's in the Bag, Jay? Now, this is the segment where I pick 5 movies from my collection that I haven't seen, write their names on a piece of paper, throw them in the bag, draw one out at random, and do a short review. Now, returning from last week is Meatball Machine, by popular demand, Edges of Darkness, Death Racers, and The Beast of Exmoor. And the new entries this week, Brutal, and Shadow, Dead Riot. Now, I started folding the pieces of paper like I told you last week, so they are already in the bag, as I'm sure you guys can see. Let's give the bag a good tussle, mix them up really good, and let's see what we got in here. I have Death Racers. Yay, Brad will be so happy. So now I'm going to take this and put it aside while I set the movies side by side by side. And take my trusty Freddy vs. Jason die, put it in the cup, spin it around. We have a 4. That means I have to pick 4 names out of the bag. Give it another good tussle. We have, this is going to be tough. Gotta unwrap all these with one hand. Let's see. Shadow Dead Riot. Lives to fight another day. I don't think my hands were made for this. The Beast of Exmoor. Lives to fight another day. Drew 2 that time by accident. Let's see what we got here. Brutal. Lives to fight another day. Now, what's the last one going to be? Edges of Darkness or Meatball Machine? Let's see. Ooh, Edges of Darkness. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Since a lot of people have been asking for Meatball Machine, I'm just going to throw it back in the mix for next week and pick something new for my 6th title. So, I am going to go and watch Death Racers and come back with a short review later. Well, I'm back. I just watched Death Racers, and here are my thoughts. Death Racers is a 2008 film, which runs approximately 92 minutes, although on the back of the DVD it says it runs 85 minutes. Not sure why, but okay. Now, it's written and directed by Ray Niram. Now, he did the movie Cemetery Gates, which I also happen to own. I've heard okay things about it, but I haven't watched it yet. And also a movie called Night Skies. But from the way it seems, when I was looking up his resume, most of his work that he's done in his life has been in the makeup department. And he's done some really popular films. Now, this stars the Insane Clown Posse, which is Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope, as themselves. Now, they starred in Big Money Hustlers, which I have actually seen and really enjoyed, and Big Money Rustlers, which I have not seen. It also stars Scott Levy, who you can see up here if you guys can read it, WWE's Raven, but I believe on the back it says former WWE, starring former WWE's Raven. Now, I'm not a big fan of wrestling. I've mentioned that before. So I don't really know much about him. But he was in the movie Cool as Hell and also Sleeper. He was okay in this. Definitely the standouts were, of course, the Insane Clown Posse. You get their music throughout the film, and they're just funny. I'm not a juggalo like my friend Brad. By the way, Brad actually sent this movie to me, so thank you very much. I actually enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. But I am not an Insane Clown Posse fan or a juggalo, but they definitely have a presence on screen that is... it's amusing, definitely. They're a lot of fun. Now a couple interesting things about the film, or a few interesting things. The budget on this was $450,000, and the movie takes place in 2033. And this film was also released at the same time as Death Race with Jason Statham to capitalize on its success. A lot of movies seem to do that, and I mean, I definitely get it. You know, this was probably a straight-to DVD movie, and people who wanted to see the movie or liked the movie are probably going to pick this up. What you have is a premise very similar to Death Race. It's 4 or 5 groups of people. The Insane Clown Posse is one of the groups with a pretty cool monster truck. And they're racing basically through the desert in order to win the race and get to the Reaper. If they win their freedom. Like I said, very similar to Death Race, basically almost the same exact premise. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a very low-budget effort from the Asylum, because that's pretty much what they do, is low-budget films. They have some really interesting stuff out there. I mean, I'm not a fan of all of it, but then again, I'm not a fan of all of anything. But they do have some really good films out there. And this movie was a lot of fun. I'm going to get into my cons right now. My cons were Raven. I wasn't really impressed with him. I know he was kind of hamming it up, I guess. But not really impressed with his acting ability. Although I've never seen him in anything else to judge. But with this, it was kind of just silly. The standouts, as far as like one of the things I liked about the film, of course, was the Insane Clown Posse, because they are always fun to watch on screen. Another con is the way it was filmed. In talking with Brad, or Bronco Juggalo Talks Movies, he had explained that the guy who filmed this did a lot of the Insane Clown Posse's music videos. And that's kind of the filming that this takes. It takes a very music video kind of approach, where the guys are running and then the tape is rewound and then they run again and tape is rewound. To me, that is a pet peeve of mine, and I absolutely hate it. It just annoys me, and it makes the film seem cheap and just gimmicky. I don't know. It's just something that I just have never liked in film. But other than that, it didn't really take me out of the film too much, because it's not done constantly. But it's done enough to irritate me. But I did like the film. It was a fun watch. It's definitely a popcorn kind of turn off your brain type of movie. To just kind of sit back and have fun, laugh, and kind of make fun of. And that's it. Pretty much every movie made it back in this week. The only one that didn't get picked was Meatball Machine. And I put it back in because quite a few people have been asking for that. So there will be one new entry next week. So stay tuned. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.